honestly,
true.
I've seen 5 and 10 second matches just because you're like, I'm on bridge, going in, getting on mage. Oops, I'm dead. So we'll see if they can avoid that. Maybe they'll play a low game. Maybe they'll just have YongYea push up a little bit and harass and try to bait them in. You know, maybe Sleeping's going to try to get some crazy grip that we've never seen before. Surely they have a plan because they knew coming into this they would face a lot of these North American and European Wizard teams.
All right, so top left on your screen, of course, is going to be GameSense DNAW, second place in the European Regionals, facing against OMG, which is going to be the Korean runner-up also. So it's a battle from second place from both.
It is indeed, but you can hardly tell who placed what because all of these matches have been dramatically close, I dare say. Match is getting started here on Blade's Edge, and it looks like they're going to go topside on the OMG side. Just run right across. I don't blame him one bit. Sleeping's immediately throwing chains out onto Jack. Sorry.
Oh, look at Sleeping already right from the beginning. He's going to be taking a bunch of damage. Wow, look at all the damage onto Dakaroth. And that's what these DKs can do. Just dump in a massive amount of damage. That ring is going to go down. Not going to catch anyone in it, though. It may have touched Sleeping.
Yep, only Sleeping's pet got caught into that, so Rodriguez definitely not scoring the type of CC he wants to. And Dakaroth is taking hilarious amounts of damage. Like we said, PhD Key is the natural counter, and there we go. The DK does have problems against magical damage.
Sleeping taking so much damage right there.
Yep. Rodriguez managing to get away, taking some damage himself. And this is this is pretty much exactly how they need to play. They need to stay down bottom, if at all possible, and just not stand toe-to-toe with that damage. I'm really surprised that Wizards relinquished this top and that they were unable to put more damage out on YongYea.
And this is what's going to happen in most of these matches. The DK can't stand out in the middle of the open like the Hunter can, because he's going to be focused pretty quickly once his cooldowns are down. But you can see all those massive calls coming out.
I mean, this is just a madness. Rodriguez is forced to block at 50%. He's got hypothermia, and naturally, he is now the biggest target on Blade's Edge Arena. Deep freezes to peel, but it doesn't matter. OMG still had some cooldowns left to stay on the targets.
Got him out of that, and they give, a spell stolen freedom right there, allowed Rodriguez to get away, but there's always the grip to bring him back into reality.
And the
thought he was going to get away.
Yep, and as soon as freedom's off, chains of ice on him, slowing him down constantly. And he's standing next to Jordanhouse. Rodriguez and Jordanhouse standing right next to each other as Dakaroth is down there taking a bunch of damage, and that's good. It's nice
Gucci's doing a great job right there, faking that spell lock right there, but Sleeping it down to half, and you can see him, impeccable placement right there, just barely in line of sight. Actually, that one was out of line of sight.
They did not give an inch on that. As soon as they saw that the GameSense DNAW was out of range, they fell back behind that pillar, put some damage on the Fell Hunter, or sorry, the Fell Dog, and then they just got right back into the fight as soon as they had that line of sight range again. They're playing so carefully.
Oh, there goes the
damage into YongYea. He's not trinketed yet in a deep freeze. It just is not amounting to much at all.
HRJ onto Drudenhouse right there. Rodriguez with a stacked up necrotic strike that gets taken off very quickly, but has not been picked up to full quite yet. We see Bad Manner, that blind from the monkey, onto Drudenhouse. He's eating a lot of CC right now. Rodriguez in trouble down at the bottom of the ramp. He tosses his Frostfire Orb out.
Yep, and he gets he's getting silencing shotted on a lot of those polymorphs.
Oh, Jung Up taking a lot of damage with the Hex onto Sleepings right there. Now, Gucci isn't in the greatest position because he's in the middle of everything right here, but he's forced to because his team keeps moving around these line of sight.
Yep, and he's just healing like a boss. He's going to stand there and bubble.
All right.
I'm not sure what they called there, but
Gucci has used basically everything at this point. He's in his bubble right now. He will be a viable target to switch to after this bubble wears off. Jungyup sitting in that poly. Man, Gucci is not using his pet whatsoever. Those are massive amount of heals to help him out.
Yeah, they're not getting the most out of this. You know, I saw OMG falling back, playing really intelligent, and then GameSense DNAW just answers right back, and they're helping to mitigate each other's cooldown usage quite a bit. That's why we're not seeing too many people spike. Except
look at this. They're trying to go for the reset right now because the team of GameSense, kind of playing a little bit passively just to reset the situation. But now that they're pushing back and we see a full line of dots onto Gucci, and of course they're going to be going on him when they can. It's taking a bit of damage right there, but wow, Rodriguez spiking down. Didn't even see that coming.
Yeah, this is... Rodriguez will die out of this if Drudenhouse continues to eat that CC. He was in a Hodge, and now he's out.
Yeah, people
comes his way. A scatter to trap could end this match, honestly. Rodriguez
look at that damage on both sides. Even though Rodriguez has hypothermia, they're switching it back up onto Dakaroth as he has a tries to death coil. I didn't see who that hit right there. Stackaroth down to 50,000 hit points. Rodriguez also low. We have that silencing shot on top. He's stuck in place. Hypothermia down to 50,000 hit points. Drudenhouse, though, is not in any crowd. Oh, there's this scatter. Might be a trap after. Nope, not so ever. Then there we go.
Good Spirit Link, amazing Spirit. Drudenhouse, perfect placement. And you saw Dakroth had the portal up there.
Gucci is going to be a target that they can definitely go on if they can catch him out of there. But Rodriguez, it does not have hypothermia up, but he may have snapped earlier. Might not have that second block yet.
Snap is gone.
Wow, what a great heal from Drudenhouse, but Jung also taking damage on both sides, and look at all those numbers rolling off of Dakroth.
Yeah, wow, look at the range. Wow, Rodriguez running straight up to Young, putting him in a deep freeze. He definitely wants to kill him, this Hunter. He wants to show him that mages can definitely counter that Hunter damage if given the opportunity, and Young is just taking so much pressure here in Drain. Disengages around, but still gets the channel.
Oh, he's so low on hit points right now. Young needs some heals right now. These dots are going to kill him if Gucci can't get over to him. Oh, when he gets behind, using that scatter.
Wow.
Oh, and Rodriguez. Oh, this is so back and forth. Rodriguez goes down.
That's impressive. Jungkook basically made that happen by himself because Sleeping pulled back to the pillar with Gucci. Gucci was throwing some heals on him, and then Sleeping just bounces out of that situation and runs towards Rodriguez. I look up and he's dead. So you see the Hunter damage. The way a Hunter can counter Cloth is like nothing else in this game.
That kill shot. Yeah, and I mean the damage was everywhere though. We saw some massive UA dispels, 35,000 damage on one. And of course, Jungyup with that 32k kill shot.
All it takes is, you know, 1 or 2 shots into a silencing shot, and immediately Dakroth and Rodriguez both are forced to use defensive cooldowns, because generally those 2 to 3 hits are going to put them at anywhere from 75 to 55% health, you know, even with 33 to 3600 resilience.
And they're always going to crit right off the start. Because
exactly.
Hunters. So it was good to see, you know, a Hunter coming into the mix. It's kind of, I've seen a lot of players underestimate the Hunter damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been there. It's just, it's difficult to find a team composition that really complements the Hunter. You know, you almost have to have another class that you can bait with that's more attractive a target. And I think the DK generally is for Wizards because he does so much damage, he can mitigate their CC that they want to use. They want him to use his cooldowns quickly. They want to get AMS off the board so that he can be CC'd and swapped to. So going on the DK is almost a must for an MLS, and that leaves the Hunter open for a second. You know, really what you would, you know, ideally what they would want to do in this situation from the OMG side of things is not allow themselves to get put into a position where AMS is down almost instantly and Sleeping gets put into CC, because that's pretty much a death sentence for Youngyup. But we saw they're able to play around Game Sense's positioning abilities. Even with Rodriguez throwing out very, very good rings, clutch Novas, and I saw some awesome fears out of Dakroth there, a few really clutch interrupts, and Drudenhouse was playing good positioning with Rodriguez as well, which explains why he lived half as long as he did versus that Hunter damage.
Yeah, I was impressed by Gucci's play as a Paladin. You know, that could have been a very stressful situation for them, but he didn't panic whatsoever, able to play all that line of sight game down bottom.
And that was good. That was very smart of them to go down bottom. I was hoping they would, and I'm glad they did, because it does give them an advantage. You know, even though the lock can portal back up, forcing that portal generally leaves the mage down bottom, because Rodriguez was not playing topside like I personally would have liked to see. I would like to see more of a top presence at the very beginning of that match. They relinquished top and never properly retook it. And that is a bit of a deal for MLS. It's a deal breaker, especially against PHDK.
And that is very true. And
at the end of the day,
I love how they're swapping the damage.
Tunnel damage.
Yep. The damage was going on to Dakroth.
Tunnel damage. That's all they need to do is be on Youngyup, tunnel damage. That needs to be their strat. And they will mitigate a lot of this damage coming their way.
They definitely will. All right, so on your screen right now, of course, the team of GameSense DNAW is down 1-0 right now to OMG. And it was that massive amount of damage onto the mage from beginning to end.
I mean, natural counter, man.
And I like how they start so offensively right from the start. That blazing speed on the first shot whatsoever.
Yeah, like it, man. Rodriguez, he does win the
they
mage
do not like that pet
basis.
whatsoever. The pet gets dotted up. That monkey taking a lot of damage. You're trying to kill some quite early.
But it's alright. It's a Hunter pet.
And this is an interesting start. You know, the team of OMG playing a lot more passive than the beginning. I like when teams show up to tournaments with many different openers.
But this is silly. This is playing off there. I mean, just all of those crits out of Lance and his bolt crit as well. You can see that DK is a very viable target.
This is what GameSense needs to do to get back into it. They are pulling the team all the way back. Their Paladin was playing so defensively before.
Yeah, and Sleeping caught into that ring, brought out by damage, but Rodriguez is still in trouble. He doesn't have enough peels coming off the Dakroth.
All right, so Rodriguez is trying to get even into line of sight. As you can see, the team of OMG resetting yet again. Really good idea at this point. Gucci wasn't doing too well on mana. Down to half, has already bubbled, I do believe. Yep, he has forbearance on him.
Yep, Drudenhouse just sat for a drink. You've got Dakroth and Rodriguez up top, controlling the top side of Blade's Edge, and that is exactly where you have to be as MLS if you're going to
that. Polly onto Gucci right after that deep freeze. Sleeping, though. Down to half, and look at that. So back up yet again. Choosing the Lichborn right there, so he's not going to be able to be cleared, which was a great idea right before. Could have been reaction to the Howl of Terror.
Rodriguez gets super aggressive with that ring and does not catch Sleeping in it. He's just maybe half a yard out, unfortunately. And that's going to allow him to stay on him. And you see Rodriguez taking a lot of damage.
A very smart hand of sacrifice right there onto Sleeping. It's going to mitigate half the damage. Damage going to Gucci, which is going to break a lot of crowd control. And that's going to fade finally. 40,000 hit points on Sleeping, and they coil him away. Oh, if they can land a counter spell, he's going to take a lot of damage. And there he goes.
Yeah,
great ending crowd control onto Gucci right at the end, and all it takes is that little bit.
Yeah, I like that. They stayed up top, they put out the pressure, and then when the time was right, they just dropped down, used major cooldowns, CC that PHDK, which is their only weakness. It is the only weakness they have against MLS, is they have fewer defensive cooldowns.
Look at that, now it's tied all up.
That can be used offensively.
Now, the one thing I like about these game stats is sometimes you can tell exactly the kind of strategy that these players are playing, especially when you watch a DK. If you don't see those massive burst numbers, it means that they're using a lot of those runes on Necrotic Strike, and that helps out a whole lot when you have a Hunter dumping a massive amount of damage into his target.
Yep, and every time Silencing Shot was up, you saw him switch targets between Dakroth and Rodriguez, and it's highly effective. It really makes Drudenhouse overwork to heal, but their positioning was just leagues better than the first map, as you saw, and they were able to keep it together. So I would definitely like to see them play more like that if GameSense is going to be able to take out this PHDK. But honestly, OMG is just playing a really sharp counter game to theirs. And the damage is there. The positioning was just a bit of a problem for them on Blade's Edge. Like I said, Blade's Edge and Sewers of Dalaran is exactly what GameSense wants to see. Those are the maps they want to fight on every single time.
Yeah, I thought our first match was going to be on Dalaran, actually. But it ended up being the other team. And that would be a rough ride for OMG. Yeah. I mean, it's not only do you have the boxes, which help out a Shaman more than a Paladin. You have the multi-access with the lock right there.
Yeah. The lock's going to be able to get out so much. The Hunter's disengage becomes more risky. A bad disengage throws you off the edge. You're caught in an NACC out of position, you're dead. So, disengage does become, I think, less valuable unless they have a solid command of middle in Sewers, which honestly isn't exactly where they want to play.
All right, so let's see if we can get these team in. It looks like the players are ready. Yeah, they look nice and ready. I'm going to launch this game right now. So it's 1-1 right now. Love these 1-1 games.
Okay. I've asked you guys a few times to make some noise. This is the last match of the day. It is tied 1-1. OMG from South Korea, who beat Team EG on that side stage versus GameSense DNAW. Can I hear some noise from the crowd at Blizzcon 2011?
All right.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Much better.
All right, where are my hunters? All right, guess what map it is?
One guy.
Is it Ring of Valor? It is Ring of Valor. This is going to be rough.
Rough does not begin to describe the hurt MLS is about to feel.
All right. So as you can see on your screen, GameSense, DNAW top left. And this map is not what they wanted to see whatsoever. Wide open areas. A Hunter's going to have line of sight constantly.
It's like
disengage around pillars.
It's like an amusement park for a Hunter, man. Disengage is always clutch. Traps hit like everybody all day. It's just the best.
Right. And I love the synergy that these to the Hunter and the DK. I mean, their switches have been perfect every time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as long as Sleeping can continue to save that AMS for late in their burst, he'll continue to stay up through everything Rodriguez and Dakroth have been throwing at him.
All right. We're going to follow Rodriguez back to the followed him last time. Let's watch the Hunter because Young Yup has been doing so much damage. As you can see him getting right in the center right from the start. And these Korean teams prepare so many opening strategies. Now they're going specifically on the Shaman, that Necrotic Strike. Wow. Able to get that off with a, oh wow, look, there's so much damage coming out, already having to Spirit Link Totem, HOJ on top of Necrotic Strike. When he's out of this Necrotic Strike, he's gonna be in trouble. Silencing and Strangulate on top. Judenhouse, you are in trouble.
Where your health bar at, bro?
Oh, and there he goes. Wow.
Enter Ring of Valor.
Collect crowd control after crowd control.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you have to do. You line up on somebody. I like that they picked a target that hadn't done anything.
That is dirty.
They're like, oh, there's the Shaman. Yeah. Remember, Shamans are super killable?
Oh, yeah.
Dead.
Oh, hey, you're the only one that can heal? I'm going to HOJ you. Then we're going to stack Necrotic Strike on, so even if you're out, you're in trouble.
And, you know, YoungUps, his rapid fire was mitigated almost entirely by Polymorph, and it still was not enough.